Before I go to the third point, we should also avoid generalization. And in all the studies that I had done during 20 years of my service at the National Directorate of Security, it was very clear that nor all the graduates of madrasas were extremists. Uh, and they were also not all the suicide bombers studied madrasas. So this is an important point to make, that we should not generalize it. So where the problems start? The problems start that, like the religion that has been hijacked, that has been taken hostage by a small group of people, extremist circles have taken hostage madrasas, and they are misusing these institutions for their own ideas and for their own practices. So, for example, uh, talking about madrasas, those days that we were dealing with in Pakistan, uh, the kind of teachings and the kind of lessons they were giving to the students, they were so contrary to the real instructions of Islam. For example, suicide, suicide bombing, and any kind of suicide is prohibited clearly in at least two, three verses of Holy Quran. And also there's a clear hadith that says that it's not, it's a big sin. But in those madrasas, it was preached for the students that it's an acceptable act, and it was they were giving them a lot of incentives to do it. So I had been involved in a number of investigations. We had arrested hundreds of suicide bombers before they committed that crime and before they carried out the attacks. Of course, each of them had different stories, but there were some areas that the pattern showed that there was a clear direction for all of them that they had to follow. First of all, for example, the exploitation. Most of these young people who are made as suicide bombers and suicide attackers were extremely poor people. And that poverty was exploited by these people. The second area was the radicalization process, that these people were radicalized to that extent that they would accept to kill themselves for the cause, that they were given the incentive that you will have eternal happiness, and so on. And these were the messages for a hopeless and poor person. It was so attractive that they would immediately jump and accept it. And the third one was uh, the training. There was a clear division between the groups that were doing the radicalization process, and this process would happen within madrasas. And then after that, once some of the students passed this stage, they would be introduced to the training part. And the trainings were minimum of 6 weeks to maximum of 12 weeks, depending of which type of attack they wanted to carry out. So then, of course, they were sent to their missions. And these people, of course, as I said, they were badly exploited. They they were also in the process of radicalization. For example, they were shown some deceptive porn videos, and they normally associated those videos to the coalition forces in Afghanistan, just to make them like eager and make them ready to go for those attacks. So now that we know the process, unfortunately, the evil process that some of these people were exploited in some of these madrasas